Boom. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Manchester United 3, Derby County 0. We're into the FA Cup semi-finals. I've not got it wrong because we ain't going to lose to bloody Norwich. They're the worst team we've played this season. But look, Manchester United tonight, absolutely fantastic. I just want to get it off my chest straight away. Don't come at me with that goal of Luke Shaw's being Jesse Lingard's. No. He turned his back. And I'll be talking about the man of the match in a minute, and I'll give you Jesse Lingard's score in a minute. People are concerned I'm going to go quite low on that, but man of the match is going to be interesting. But there's no way Jesse Lingard gets that goal of Luke Shaw's. I said it in the watch along, and I'll say it now. If I'm fighting Deontay Wilder in a heavyweight boxing match, he's going to absolutely smash me up. If I turn my back on him and I'm terrified, and on his way over to knock me out, he slips over and knocks himself out, and I turn round and I'm the winner, that's not my win really. Technically okay, but come on. Luke Shaw has scored that goal and it's flicked off Jesse Lingard's back as he turned his back on it. So it's Luke Shaw, goal and assist as far as I'm concerned. He was fantastic tonight. And Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I must just say, this is a game that United should win. And it's a game that United did win. And everything was ticked. I've seen decent United sides under Sir Alex Ferguson go away in the Cup with Ronaldo and Rooney in prime games, Burton Albion, and struggle. And, you can't win every game well. I want to see United play well every game. I do. And tonight, at times, it was a battle, but we deserved to win it. But you can't win every game well. United against Derby County away from home in the FA Cup, good result. Good performance. Let's go to the next one. That tonight, you can only be positive about it. I want United to win, and they did well tonight. Big test on Sunday against Derby. We'll talk again in the Manchester Derby. We'll talk about that in a moment. But interesting, isn't it, for Ollie? I think he went a little bit strong tonight. My only concern from tonight was two things. Why are we playing on a Thursday night? Man City have got a whole extra day rest, and we're playing Thursday, Sunday again, which is difficult. We saw in the second half against Everton last week that we faded, and that worries me against Man City at the weekend. Bruno and Fred both playing over 65 minutes. That's a little bit of a worry. I can see why he did it though, because we looked in control of the game. And we also have this bigger problem now of FA Cup, Premier League and Europa League. They're all on the table. As I said, Ollie opens up the cupboard. He's got Pringles, Hobnobs and, a wagon wheel. And he's not picking one, is he? He's hungry. He's going for all three. He's at risk of becoming quite bloated and not getting the job done. Do we have to start thinking about it? I think at some point we might have to, but at the moment it's looking good. But look, Manchester United tonight, I thought they were absolutely fantastic. My man of the match tonight, before I do the player ratings, my man of the match tonight was Luke Shaw and Ighalo. I've never done it before, but I just can't split it. I think Ighalo, goals from Ighalo, this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been talking about. And Solskjaer will relate to Ighalo more than he relates to Martial. Martial's a flair player. He scores goals, but he's a flair player. Ighalo doesn't have a lot to his game other than in the penalty box. He's a scrappy striker. He can score good goals, but he's a striker. Put the ball in the backs. He's a Solskjaer. He's a Darren Bent. He's a Gary Lineker. He's a goal scorer. And both his goals today had an element of scrappiness. The second goal, he'd missed the first shot. He comes back to it. He puts it in. The first goal, little bit of scrappy control. He puts it in. And that is what we've needed. We do need a player like that. We do need a player that you can put on. And if the chances happen, he'll score the goals. Really, really pleased for Ighalo. And I thought Luke Shaw tonight was justification. He's been playing well for about a month. But the people who don't like Luke Shaw will just say, oh, no, whatever, I'm not listening to that. You've got to listen to it tonight because he scored a goal and he made a goal. And, he's just playing very, very well for United at the moment. And look, as I said, I've never been a fan of Matic, but I'm big enough to say Matic has been brilliant for us the last month or so, and we really needed him. And it's about time people said it about Luke Shaw. Get some respect on his name. He's a Manchester United player. He's playing really well. He's playing for the shirt. That's all you want. And he deserves some respect. And I hope people are changing their mind about him because he deserves it. He's played really, really well for United. Couple of things I want to say before I do the player ratings, though. I think when Bruno's on the pitch, we've seen a different Manchester United. I think with Manchester United at the moment, I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying watching Manchester United. And there's no guilt attached to that. It doesn't mean Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be the manager next year. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have our worst Premier League season ever. It just means that up until January, we were absolutely terrible. And the last month, I've quite enjoyed watching us. Why have I started enjoying watching us? Has there been an improvement in the coaching, or is it because of Bruno Fernandez? I can't answer that at the moment. I think it'd be interesting to see what you lot think, but I don't think we can answer that question at the moment. Is it because of Bruno? Is it because the coaching's improved? My leaning is towards Bruno, because I think Bruno has created a lot of fear in teams as well, which creates more space. And I also think players have stepped up because of Bruno, because it's not just Bruno. Bruno on his own needs players to do it around him. But what's happened is we were the mint without we were a polo, the mint with a hole in it. You've got players around the number 10, but the number 10 was useless. Lingard or Pereira or even Mata at times. We've now got a number 10 who's decent. So players who were knocking the ball into the number 10, making a run off them, and nothing happens, they're now seeing things happen. If you look at the second goal, Ighalo, Luke Shaw gets it from Bruno and passes it into Ighalo and they score. Luke Shaw's not getting that pass 2 months ago when we didn't have Bruno. So Bruno has brought us on a lot, but he's brought players on a lot. But interestingly, how far can Bruno take us in this current squad? Because it's only Derby County, to be honest. Derby weren't as good as I thought they would be, but it's still a good result. But I still did notice things today. I mentioned the one in the last couple of minutes. Jesse Lingard gets the ball, passes it into Pereira. It should be a 1-2 and Lingard gets a shot. Pereira takes a touch. That's football intelligence. In the first half, Bruno Fernandez is on the ball and he's pointing for somebody to make a run. Neither McTominay or Ighalo do it. And he's telling them where to go and they're not doing it. In the second half, Bruno gives it into McTominay. He wants the ball back. McTominay takes the shot. If he gives it back to Bruno, Bruno's got a shot. He probably scores. Football intelligence. We've said it about Dan James as well. The football intelligence in a lot of our players needs to go up a level. There's a lot of them, and maybe it's the coaching, maybe it comes from the Mourinho days, I don't know. Too many of our players want to take a touch on the ball. They don't want to, and Bruno needs players, give and go quickly, one-touch football, around the edge of the box. We'll get more out of Bruno if we put players next to him who can do it. And at the moment, we have still got a few players who aren't up to the level of Bruno. Ollie says Bruno's 2 seconds ahead of everybody else. I think everyone else is 2 seconds behind. We need to get players who are closer to his intelligence. Because Bruno Fernandez isn't the best footballer that's ever lived. I hope he does become that, but he's not. He is a player that if you stuck him in Man City's team, everyone would be on his same wavelength. Our players aren't on that wavelength yet, and that comes across a little bit at times. But against a team like Derby, you're going to be absolutely fine. Right, let's do the player ratings. For me, Romero, 8 out of 10, people. 8 out of 10. I mean, the saves from Rooney's free kick was good. But I think he made a few good saves tonight, Romero. And that clean sheet, I mean, people will say, oh yeah, United didn't concede against Derby. But that clean sheet tonight was, he had to work for it. And I thought he played really well, Romero. 7 for Eric Bailly and 7 for Lindelof. I think as a pair, they did quite well. They may well be the pair against Derby with Maguire injured. Both did very well. I mean, they were up against one striker, a championship striker. You'd expect them to do well. Let's not get a nosebleed and give them anything higher than a 7. But they were good. I thought they were good, and they did a good job. Delo, I'm not going to give Delo a 7. I mean, let's not get too generous. I thought an average 6 for Delo. Didn't really do anything terribly wrong. I think it's all the process for Delo, isn't it? I think it's going to be a slow progress back from the injury that he's got. So, yeah, I was pleased with Delo. Luke Shaw, 9 from me. I mean, look, it's the opposition. You can't not say I'm not going to give anyone more than an 8 because it's Derby. Luke Shaw tonight, defensively sound. Offensively, very, very good. He could have scored a couple of goals. He could have had a couple more assists. So, Luke Shaw was fantastic tonight. I'll give him a 9. Fred, 7. Good game from Fred. I think we sort of become a bit ignorant to the fact that he had a good game tonight. He did play well. Bruno Fernandez, Fred, I thought he did do well. McTominay would give a 7 as well. You know, much the same as Lindelof, Fred and Bailly. Above average. I like the fact that he gets into little scrapes. He probably needs to calm down a little bit sometimes, but as a fan, you like to see a player that's a bit aggressive and wants to put his foot in because it shows. So yeah, I'd give him a 7. Mata played well. Yeah, give Mata a 7. I mean, he got involved. He played 90 minutes. I think this is probably Mata's level. Like I said, I think Mata against the lower Premier League sides and Championship sides, that's Mata's level now. We know he can't play in the bigger games because he's just not at that level anymore because of his age, and he is on the decline. But at this level, Mata's still a decent player, so he played well. Bruno Fernandez, I'm going to shock everyone and give him a 6. Yeah, see, you know, he is human. No, I'm going to give him a 6 because I think by Bruno Fernandez' high level, and everyone knows I love Bruno Fernandez, but by his high level, and look, if I'm saying what difference Bruno means to the team, you give him an 8. But by Bruno's standards tonight, I'd give him a 6, which is average for him. Average 6. There's nothing wrong with being average. An average 6 for Bruno tonight. He could have done better. I think maybe Bruno looks a bit tired. That worries me a bit. I think Bruno looks a bit tired. But he was still involved. He had a big part to play in the second goal. His shooting was a bit off tonight. He lost the ball a little bit tonight. But I thought he was, you know, not terrible. Nowhere near bad. But you know, we've got high expectations of Bruno now. He didn't score a goal. You know, I'm tempted to give him a 4. No, not really. Ighalo gets a 9 from me. As I said, he was my joint man of the match. So please smash a like on the video if Ighalo or Shaw were your man of the match. I've given it to them both, so they both got to have a 9. Look, Ighalo, I can see people in the live comments that are absolutely spot on. They're all waiting for the Lingard score. I said it would be low, but wait a minute. On Ighalo, right? I said it in the first half. First 20 minutes of the second half were the same. He's not in the game. Not in the game. And in Ighalo, we've got something that you don't really see in the modern game. I think Darren Bent scored goals for Sunderland. He scored goals for Spurs, Villa. I saw Darren Bent play a few times, and his build-up play, crap. In the box, penalty box king, goal scorer. And that's what Ighalo is. Martial, you know, we've said so many times this season, Martial doesn't get any service. But Martial can come and get the ball. He can do something individually. He's a flair player. Same with Rashford. Ighalo's not that player. Ighalo's totally reliant on chances in the box. And today, most of his play, he wasn't in the game because that's not what he's there to do. But he comes alive in the box. He gets 2 goals. You've got to reward the player that does that. He should have got a hat-trick. But 2 goals in a performance where you've got to keep your concentration up. It's like Ollie said, you've got to be patient and you've got to stay in that box. And Ighalo did that tonight. Absolutely fantastic. So I give him a 9, definitely. Him and Luke Shaw, my man of the match there. Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard. I'm going to give him a 5. I was going to give him a 4. And then in the last 10 minutes, he actually started playing well. Which I would say to Lingard, why does it take a team to have given up for you to start getting confident and playing? Because I thought in the last 10 minutes, when the game was over and the space was there, Lingard started making tackles. Lingard started carrying the ball. Lingard started doing good crosses. He actually put the pass in for Ighalo to get a hat-trick. He actually started doing give and goes. For the 80 minutes before that, knocked off the ball, bad passes, awful. Now, we're talking here about, we're not talking generosity, we're talking here a player that is a Manchester United attacker. If you're a Manchester United attacker, your job is not to play little 10-yard passes and run off. Your job is to score, create, and innovate. And Lingard has had a whole season of... Solskjaer's given him too many chances. Even Lingard knows he's had too many chances. You've got to have a high level. We're not a charity. And Lingard, for 80 minutes today, was like, why do we keep doing this? And I'm sure Angel Gomez, Tahith Chong are thinking exactly the same. How does that player keep getting all those chances and I've not got hardly any? How does that happen? Because the fans think it as well. But in the last 10 minutes, I did see from Lingard a different Lingard. But it takes the game to be over. It takes the opposition to be tired for him to have the confidence to start doing stuff. You've had so many chances, Jesse. I don't get it. You're a better player than you've been this season, without question. But I don't know why you don't produce it. So I can't give you a high score because actually, for a Manchester United attacker, that's not good enough. You should be doing a lot more than that. I feel like we carry Lingard every time he plays. I think that when Lingard plays, we hope we can gift him a chance. We hope we can do something for him. What does he bring to us? I think we carry him. And I think it's a shame. But that's not his fault. I thought in the last 10 minutes he did quite well, to be honest. And I was going to give him a 4. I'll give him a 5 because in the last 10 minutes he did all right. You know, you're not far off average. But it's on Solskjaer. I don't get that. And I think a lot of people have said it in the live comments. Where was Chong tonight? Where was Gomez? Where was Garner? You've got Chelsea playing people like Gilmour, starting him in an FA Cup game against Liverpool. You've got Liverpool using Jones and Williams, who are basically youth team players. Where's our youth today? You know, I don't get the situation with Gomez. I don't get the situation with Chong. I don't get the situation with Garner. I mean, I don't understand why they can't be involved. So, but look, very good performance for Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer tonight, 7 out of 10. You can't give him any higher than that. You can't give him any lower than that. I think it was a good performance from Manchester United. He got Bruno off. He got Fred off. Matic rested. I was a bit worried when he brought Martial on. But look, all in all, very good night for Manchester United. Very good performance for United. And I think the question I would ask the live comments now is, what do you think about it? You know, we've got City on Sunday, Europa League, Spurs away, Europa League, Norwich in the FA Cup. Sheffield United game's now been postponed because we're both in the quarterfinals. So that's a game we've got to play later. It's another game. It's another trophy. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is greedy. I think he is greedy. Will that greed be a good thing or will it be a bad thing? We're fighting on 3 fronts. Top 4 is a trophy, isn't it? Sad to say it, but 4th place is a trophy because it's Champions League. FA Cup is a real trophy. Europa League is a real trophy. We don't have the squad to do all 3. I will say this to you right now. We don't have the squad to do all 3. We're all getting excited about Paul Pogba coming back. We all are, quite rightly. But look at the last week. We've had a scare on Martial injury. Dan James is injured. Wan-Bissaka's injured. And Harry Maguire's injured. In 1 week, we've had 4 players flirting with injury. And that's in 1 week. Do you think we're going to get through the next 3 months with no more injuries? We are going to pick up injuries. They're going to be key injuries. And they're going to cause us a problem. But I don't have a problem with tonight. I'm very happy with tonight. Somebody said to me before the game, would it not be a blessing in disguise if we lost? Not with that team he's put out. No, if he puts the reserves out, he puts the youth team out, you go, all right, it's not a priority. If we win, great. If we lose, does it really matter? With the team we put out, it meant something. We won the game. Applaud it. Very, very good performance. I do worry about the volume of games, though. I do worry about what's going to go. And the one that I always think's the most vulnerable is top 4, because that's the games you've got most. We've got 10 league games. We've got potentially 3 FA Cup games, and we've got potentially, is it 6 or 7 Europa League games, or maybe 5? I think it's 6. I think it's 7 actually Europa League games. So the Premier League is the one that's got the most, and that could be the one that causes a problem. Ollie can't make bricks without clay, says Eric Hall. Very, very deep. And it's only the Bruno effect. There's many players improving this season, like Fred, Williams, McTominay. Ollie deserves credit for that, says Oscar Bringana. Look, all I'll say is, I said it after the Everton game, and I'll say it after now. I ain't a flip-flop. I ain't going to go Ollie at the wheel because we've beaten Derby, just like I didn't say Ollie out because we dropped massive points against Everton. Some people will, some people won't. For me, this doesn't mean Ollie's brilliant. I didn't see a scintillating football performance tonight. I didn't see a scintillating philosophy. I saw a 4-2-3-1. I saw a lot of what United have done all season. I saw a clinical player in the box, and I saw us take our chances. Derby had chances as well. We deserve to win it. That result tonight doesn't mean Ollie's the man for Manchester United. It doesn't mean progress in the sense that I still haven't seen a philosophy, but it does mean progress in relation to it's another win, it's confidence, it's momentum. I think we've got an unbeaten run now that you can actually say is an unbeaten run. Is it 9 games? So there is something to build on that. Of course, I think the big test now is the Manchester City game. That's where we're going to learn. And I think what I don't want to come out of that Man City game is an absolute, whitewash of, we're going to play 5 at the back. That's my prediction. We're going to play 5 at the back, and that in itself will be quite defensive. But it's a bonus. It's a bonus. If the Premier League games go our way this weekend, it's a bonus if we can get something against Man City. And why couldn't we? I mean, actually, we've played them 3 times. We've beat them twice. So we could. Are you doing Skype calls? If not, Ighalo is better than Lukaku. Better first touch and hold up play, says Liam Richards. We haven't done Skype calls for years, mate. Mr. Beast, why does Ighalo have 100 children? Because he's a lethal finisher inside the box. Also, Lingard must just be a make-a-wish at this point. He's tragic, says Mr. Beast. Bruno 6.9, please, Mark, says Shisha. And I've only been harsh on Bruno because I think I've just got to be a bit unbiased. Oscar Bringanga says it's not only the Bruno effect. I've read that. Ollie can't make me. I've read that. Dylan Sups. Ighalo is a scrappy number 9. Proper goal scorer like Lukaku. But he is happy to be on the bench. Great for the squad. Would you make him permanent? If Ighalo was on 50 grand a week, I'd make him permanent. He's on 300 grand a week. I mean, we're not paying all of that. But he's on 300 grand a week in China. And he's got 2 years left on his contract. You can't afford that. I don't think he stays. Muzzy Leon says Shaw gets way too much stick from fans. He was great again. Can't wait to see Ricky's fan cam. Leaf Hunter, we've now gone 9 games unbeaten and we're playing mostly positive football. It's hard not to be positive right now. Also, if we get into the semi of the FA Cup or Europa League, do you drop Romero for De Gea? No. Keep Romero in goal. Noel Cole says, how many more times are we going to play Lingard when we could have given chances to Gomez or Gardner and others? Where is youth, Mark? They used more teenagers than us, says Sergei Mamedov. See, a lot of people are not happy with the youth not being used. Thanks for the contribution, Noel Coles. Jace Malice, my biggest complaint is that no one listens to Bruno's commands, and it probably has to do with the fact that he's a new signing and the rest of the team feels entitled because they've been there longer. I think they are listening. I just don't think they're on the wavelength. Bruno, if you watch the game, Bruno, they do respect Bruno. They know Bruno's on another level, and Bruno doesn't give a shit about any other player because he wants to win. I don't think they're ignoring him. I don't think they've got the football intelligence yet. And maybe they never will do, but I don't think they're ignoring Bruno. I think it's an intelligence thing. Lingardinho, beautiful goal, says White Owl. Stop trying to wind me up, you cheeky sod. But look, I'm happy with that tonight. I'm very happy with that tonight. Somebody said in the watch along, are you enjoying United? And all I want to do is enjoy United. All I want to do is see United win. And I'm very happy with that tonight. It doesn't solve the problems. It doesn't solve the problem in relation to we're on course for our worst ever Premier League season. Of course it doesn't. It doesn't mean that Ollie's going to stay in a job. It just means on the short-term view that we have at the moment, Manchester United have won a game of football. I enjoyed watching it. There are positive things in there. It wasn't Bruno who was man of the match. It was Ighalo and Luke Shaw. These things to me are positive. That other players are stepping up to the plate. And like I said, Luke Shaw's been bloody brilliant for the last month. Absolutely brilliant. And so has Matic. And so has Fred. And this is important. And this is why I'm loving doing the chart show on a Saturday morning, because there's movers and they're moving in the right direction. And that's the difference. I think the first 5 months of the season, player ratings, we're consistently giving them, what scores are we giving them? 4s and 5s and 6s. We're now giving people 7s and 8s and 9s. That is a step in the right direction. Also, Wayne Rooney tonight. People want me to rate Rooney. 7. 7 for Rooney tonight. I think he can't play in the Premier League anymore. He's not got the legs. But you give Rooney space, he can ping a 40-yard pass onto a needle. Absolutely superb at that. Football intelligence, 100%. I think if you put Rooney... You see, Mata's on the decline. There's not a lot of difference between Mata and Rooney. Mata's a little bit quicker because he's looked after himself better than Rooney. But if you put Rooney with Bruno and Mata, they'd run rings around everybody on the ball because football intelligence. So Rooney gets a 7 from me. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, and I think Rooney added to it. Legend of the club. It was just nice to see Rooney play against United, and I did. I enjoyed it tonight. It was good. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Manchester City preview and Ollie presser reaction. We've got fan cams coming in. Looking forward to Ricky, and speak to you all soon. Really enjoyed tonight. Hope you did as well. We move on to the next one. And as I said, it's not about the long term. Ollie's here till May. Let's see what happens. Let's not start saying give Ollie a year. We made that mistake this time last year. Oh, Ollie's at the wheel. Give him a contract. No, let's learn this time. Let's wait till May like we should have done last season. Let's see where we are in May. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.